what up guys, how you doing? It is Lasty here. Welcome today to Sunday, which of course means it is Random Pick Day. Probably my longest lasting series on YouTube ever. And this is episode number 28 for FIFA 18. And what I wanted to do in today's episode, guys, is go for players that were like fairly expensive. So special items between 200k bin at a minimum, all the way up to like 350k. And the player that I chose on page number 3 for our first player is a position change, a very pacey centre-back now that is known as Kyle Walker. So yeah, he does have a ones to watch at right back, but of course he's got this crazy centre-back item. I was really interested to try that out and see if he was actually a viable option. So that's our first random pick player today. Now on page number 6, I didn't know whether to go for a Kocha or I saw Shevchenko, and I'm like, yeah, I want an icon in this team. An 88 rated Shevchenko's got some good stats, you know, good dribbling and shooting. So why not bring him into the fold today and see what he can do? And guys, do me a favour. For the start of this video, hit that thumbs up button. As always, we're aiming towards 1,000 likes. The more support, the better on this channel. I greatly appreciate it. And on page number 9, I nearly went for Mbappe right there, but then I thought maybe we've used him before. So I've gone for another position change that was, I literally just got away from it too quick. Sorry about that. But it was Florenzi. Fuck birthday Florenzi, who is another position change into the centre of midfield with the crazy stats that he's got. So let's try and play him. I'm going to play him a little bit further forward today. I'm going to go with a 4-2-2-2, a formation that I basically never used. Last time I used it was quite solid, so we'll try it again today. And this is where I'm going to be playing everyone. So left centre-back for Kyle Walker. That's nearly as far away as he's ever been from the right-back spot. Right cam for Florenzi. He's got 85 shooting. I feel like he could do a job there. And then left striker for Shevchenko. Rest of the squad looks a little bit like this. So it's not the craziest of hybrids or anything. But it just seemed like a squad that would probably play quite well, featuring a lot of the stuff that I had in my club. So my favourite goalie on the game, 87 Edison, makes his way into the team. Of course, he gets a strong link to Kyle Walker and also a soft link, a Brazil nation link to Thiago Silva. So I've got Dani Alves and Danny Rose. They're both the Dannys at left back and right back today. And of course, Alves gets a perfect link to Thiago Silva. And because he's got 2 dead links, he required that perfect link as well as his soft link to the goalie. So that's how chemistry works right there. But Kyle Walker is our first random pick player to make his way into the squad. Cost me 280,000 coins. You can get the right back ones to watch version for cheaper than that, but obviously a centre back with 91 pace is something which holds quite a bit of value, especially an Englishman in the Prem. You know, lots of people use Prem teams, so I can see that he is a player that lots of people want to use. Now in the 2 CDM spots today, we've gone Prem, we've gone Serie A. I've got Rajanine Golan 86 and my 87 rated Paul Pogba. Pogba probably not greatest in a CDM role, but it was him or Bakayoko, and I'm fed up of using and seeing Bakayoko all over FIFA, so I've gone for Pogba today. And I've also put my first owner Pires that I got from one of the base icon packs into the squad today. I'm going to eventually get rid of him. I might as well test him out, see how good he is at cam. So Florenzi makes his way in, 86 rated overall, with the stats across the board all over 80. He looks insane. I figured right cam would be alright for him. He's normally a right back, so I wanted him in an advanced position, and hopefully he can still run up and down that right-hand side and be pretty solid. So that was my thought process behind that. He then gets a little soft link off to Dries Mertens up front, who's just the 86 rated version. That's the one I've got, but of course you could probably get the 87 upgraded for only a tiny bit more, I'm sure. And then Andrei Shevchenko, third random pick player today. 88 rated with 84 pace, 85 dribbling and 89 shooting. Only got 3-star skill moves, but I'm thinking alongside, you know, Pogba with the 5-star, alongside Pires with 4-star. Mertens has got 4-star as well. There's a lot of talent around him that's going to create the space. All he's got to do is be in the right place at the right time to net the goals. So that was the thought again behind all of that. So now we get into all of the goals that I was able to score with this team. Now, what I'll say about the 4-2-2-2 this time around was that it seemed a lot harder to use. I don't know what it was, whether I was just having a pretty rough day on FIFA, but I could score some goals every now and again, but I would really struggle in just like holding possession, and when my opponent had possession, I felt like I didn't have a player in the right spot quite a lot of the time. to get to him quick, to then try and nab that ball back off them. So I don't know what it was about that, but yeah, maybe Nainggolan was a little bit attacking. Maybe Pogba, obviously not meant to be a defensive midfielder. Really, he's definitely better suited to the CM or cam role, and therefore maybe those two out of position in the CDM spots could mean that I've just got loads of players up and then a huge gap before we get to the defence. And if I pull a defender out, that's going to leave another gap somewhere else, and that's where I'm going to concede. And that did happen from time to time. What I also noticed is that this Pires wasn't actually too bad at all. Like I completely written him off the whole time just because I see him as a really slow player. He's got like 72 pace on this particular card, so he's not someone that I'm super buzzing to use. But as a central player, I didn't really notice the pace, I've got to say. Like, I didn't notice it at all, really. And he felt actually like he could get involved with the team. Passing was good. Dribbling was good. He was able to score a couple goals for us as well. So yeah, like it kind of worked. And being a wide cam, you know, we're used to Pires being out on the left-hand side. I played him at left cam for that particular reason. So it seemed as though it was like a regular Pires. So maybe that's why, in my head, maybe I thought, this is like prime Pires. He's got a bit more pace. So maybe it was just all in my head. But we were able to get like 1 or 2 goals with Florenzi. The first one right there, a good run, a good touch, and a solid low-driven finish. But what I found about him was that he struggled to... I got quite a few opportunities with Florenzi, and a lot of the time the goalkeeper saved it, which was a little bit strange. But he does pull up a goal right there to put me 3-2 up in that particular game. And that was a weak foot finish, like first time. Obviously, inside the box, you're going to be able to pull stuff like that off. Wouldn't recommend long shots from outside the box with the left foot, though. Definitely stick to his right if you possibly can. And playing him as a right cam, it's quite easy to do so. You know, a lot of the time you want to hit it across the keeper. So if he's got the ball at his feet, you know, it's quite easy to do that from his position. And then we move on to the final goals that are from Andrei Shevchenko. I don't think he scored as many as I'd have hoped. Like, he's a solid striker, and he has got a really nice strike on him. Like, that goal right there, I held finesse, and I have no idea how, instead of whipping it round, it like whipped out. It was almost like the finesse didn't even connect, and it was like a power shot which went awry. But whatever it was one of the sickest like shots I've seen in a while. It was very different from my normal type of goal, and that right there is kind of like my normal type of goal. Getting it in a decent area, hitting the finesse button, enough power so that it's going to go past the goalkeeper and fly into the back of the net. So he did that every now and again, but for some reason, I think maybe the lack of skill moves or something bugged me. You know, even the heel clicks were a little bit slow, but get him anywhere near the edge of the box, just smash the shoot button, and a lot of the time you'll find it in the back of the net. You know, I messed up a few times, goalkeeper saved it, I hit it over the bar, whatever, but after getting used to him after a game or so, I started to find my feet. So, yeah, a bit of a mixed review for him. But still like a pretty usable icon in my opinion, just not top tier. So going through the squad then, Ederson in goal, I can never really have many complaints about him. If the ball goes in the back of the net, often I've made a defensive error, and that's what, you know, caused the pretty much always going to go in type of goal to go in. No real complaints about my fullbacks apart from Dani Alves, a little bit attacking. Danny Rose does great, but yeah, Alves is not the best defender on this game. Luckily, he's got a high-rated Thiago Silva next to him who kind of makes up for that. You know, he's obviously very well positioned and a really solid centre-back on the game. Not the tallest, and nor is Kyle Walker, and that could have been one of our little problems today, but we didn't have many headers going against us, so it's all good. He gets a 3.5-star value for money, 8.5 out of 10, which is a way above average rating, but like that would be a so much better value for money and player rating if you use him at right back. I think he's just better positioned there. He's the meta right back, or like a non-meta strange version of a centre back. Like, I don't think he belongs there at all. Not with the work rates that he's got. And especially when my 2 CDMs are pushing up and I use Kyle Walker to run out, that's when it leaves that massive gap and I've got to somehow deal with it. Dani Alves is already at right wing, so it's like I've got 2 defenders half the time. So maybe that's where we conceded a few goals from. Florenzi, though, he's going to get a 4-star value for money and a 9 out of 10. One, I love the position change, and I think he's super usable in the sense centre of midfield. Maybe as a right cam, like a wide cam, not so much. My bad. But still a 9 out of 10 player for me. Get him in the centre of midfield with Raja Nainggolan, and he will boss it. And he will go on these mazy runs. He will get back and defend. He's got stamina. He's got a fair bit of strength. Like, I think he's actually a great player. And you obviously pay for the stats that you get there. And I don't think it's, like, way overpriced. I think he's a good price for what you get. Dries Mertens up front. It was very helpful to have someone super agile, super quick with the skills to help out alongside someone like Andrei Shevchenko, who gets a 4-star value for money and an 8 out of 10. So again, like above average, but not too far above average. For an icon, it's a good price. For a mid-icon, like it's a pretty good price as well, especially a central striker one. But if you think about what you can get for 300k up front, if you don't look at icons, that's where the value for money loses a star or so. And then overall, like I want better skill moves. I want better movement and stuff, and you know that's what you get with like prime icons up front and stuff. So yeah, that's how he gets his rating. So there you go, guys. That is the random pick for today. I do hope you have enjoyed. If you have, do me a favour, hit that thumbs up button. I'd greatly appreciate the support. And of course, don't forget to sub to the channel if you're new. Most importantly, have a lovely Sunday, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.